Good morning. We are here at Memory Bound, and it's the dog days of summer. And we are going to show you some crazy dogs today. I'm Teresa behind the camera, and Penny is here also. I'm slowly moving around. Oh, there she is.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. All right. Okay, someone jumped on. We have viewers too.
Yay!
It is Tuesday. I almost said Monday. I'm usually here on Monday, and today I'm here on Tuesday. It is Tuesday, and we are at Memory Bound in Ankeny, Iowa. And we are going to show you several things today. Oh, yeah. Oh, I like how you put that, Penny. It's the dog days of summer. So we've been having that. We had that all last week, and we're having it again this week for some of the videos. Yesterday, Peggy did some awesome page
they're
layouts.
beautiful.
That Katie said she was just going to scrap lift, which is an excellent idea.
Yes.
All right. Happy Tuesday, Kay says. Yes, happy Tuesday. Good morning. All right. Well, one thing that we have to start out with is our special for the week.
Woohoo. Yep.
And that is the Echo Park ephemera and frames and tags, each $1.99. And if you haven't seen those, Penny's holding them. We've been showing them all week.
Cute.
And they are $1.99, regularly $4.99. So you can get both of them for less than the regular price, which is awesome.
Awesome deal.
And Penny's just looking at all the stuff.
I know.
In the packages, thinking about if she needs some or not.
Yep.
It's such a bargain price. It's like, oh, I need those. And Katie did an awesome circle page. She did multiple page layouts.
Yes.
With dog days, and then she did other things as well. So
super nice.
Right. So welcome to the dog days. And then we're going to show some fabric. We got the blue fabric in. Oh my gosh, it's so pretty. And we're going to show you those.
All right. We
I'm
have
going
to
to zoom in.
Blue numbers.
This is called blue numbers. It's kind of different. They've had other numbers. This has a big, like, burgundy stripe in it.
Burgundy, yeah.
I don't know what kind of numbers, though. It's not a bingo, but there's something vintage. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
Blue numbers. So, of course, as usual, you can get this by the yard. We sell it by the yard, the half yard, the crafty cuts,
and the fat quarters.
The fat quarters in the bundles, yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we have the blue stamps.
I love the stamps.
It's such rich color.
Beth says it's a good day to craft. Here in Iowa, it's rainy, so it's definitely a good day to craft.
The blue map.
Look at how rich that is. Wow. I might have to get a bundle of this color. That's blue map. Did you say that's
blue
called?
Map? Yeah.
Okay.
And this is the blue collage.
Blue collage. I think he's had collage in all of them, which they're so much fun. The collages are, because you don't have to make a collage then.
And here's our dog.
Where's that? Oh, look at that. Perfect for dog days of summer.
Yep.
Barbara says it's very hot in Tennessee. Lisa wants to know if we're getting the teal bundles in, and I don't know. I didn't think that we were able to, but we can check with Diane and see if she has any additional word on that. We still have the teal on the bolt, so we could, cut you some fabric if you're wanting, but we'll let you know. Yes, Shannon, the blue is gorgeous.
And the
gorgeous.
Blue tickets.
Ooh, I love the tickets too. So pretty. Look at all those blue tickets.
And there's different shades. I mean, just the different shades. Yeah. It's just beautiful. Blue tapestry.
Oh. Ooh,
this reminds me of old wallpaper.
Yes, it does.
I don't think so.
Okay.
But we're going to try to order more Christmas, so there's a chance, I guess, we could order.
Okay.
If they have any.
Diane says she doesn't think we're going to get any more. We're going to try, but with the fabric people, we kind of have to order our bolts and our stuff, and then you can't get any more. So it's just it's a different situation with the fabric people that we're not used to being able to reorder. So we'll see what we can do.
Look at this.
That looks like paint.
This reminds me of that painting that is it a Monet painting?
Yeah. What's it called?
I want to say Midsummer Night's Dream, but I don't know if that's correct. That's just gorgeous.
What's that?
Blue vintage.
Blue vintage. All right.
And that to me doesn't scream vintage at all.
No,
Here, blue eggs.
Here's one of my favorites. I know, and they're not even all blue.
No.
And someone says Van Gogh.
Yes. Starry Night. I can't remember. Anyway. Blue eggs.
Diane, you can just give us a call about the fabric. And then I was going to say on these eggs, there's words under it, but it's like foreign. It's not in English. Yes, it's some other language. So, okay. All right.
The blue tiny print.
Ooh, I want to zoom in on that. Look at that. It almost, it's not lace-like, but
no, it's
a blue print.
It's a blue tiny print.
Oh, Elena says it's
it's beautiful.
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 I couldn't say it. Beautiful.
And here we have blue script.
I'm going to go this way. So
my preference is a home in the Berg.
That's what it says?
15 years at least. I cordially for your kind invitation. I can read some of it.
That's funny. It must be, Tim always does that from real letters, vintage letters and things. Maybe it's Paula's or, somebody's letter that they found in a drawer somewhere. So look at all that blue. It's so pretty. Love it. So I'm just going to come over here. And like I said, we do have the crafty cuts. These are our crafty cuts here. We've got the bundle, the half yard, and the yard. Ooh, it's so pretty. Fun. And somebody was cutting fabric yesterday, so.
I bet somebody cuts today too.
Yeah. And then on Friday, you guys, I am showing the green fabric and some projects that I made with that. I'm a little bit behind, I know, because we also have the teal, and I have not gotten to teal yet. I'm still working on the greens, but I will do something with teal eventually. Elena says it's hard to pick a favorite. I would totally agree with that, Elena.
Oh my gosh.
The blues are just gorgeous. All right. So we're coming back into the studio, and there's going to be a little earthquake as I put our camera back into the holder. Sorry about that. All right. Excuse me. I have a little bit of cold today, you guys, so I'm going to try not to cough too much into the microphone, but all right, Penny. So we're going to be using the crazy
dogs and cats, and we're going to do the regular size and the little size. So here's the littles.
And those are called mini cats and dogs.
And they're $29.99. And if you don't have the cats, just crazy cats, $24.99.
Yes, so for you cat lovers, I know we've been neglecting you. Penny has
I've
done
included
some cats today. So yes.
I'm a dog mom, but I included some cats because my kids have cats.
And there's the
crazy dogs, $24.99.
All right.
So what I did was I started coloring with a few of the Olo markers when Kelly got back from trade show in Seattle. And she had just what she was given in class. So I was very limited. So the first couple of cards I'm going to show you is how well Copic and Olos play together. They play nice together.
Okay.
So
Should I go to the down cam then, Penny? You ready for that?
yeah,
Okay.
let's do that.
All right.
All right. So, and I love the new Marvy dies. No, not Marvy dies. I love the dies from, I just got to grab them here. Penny Black. And it is the Waves and the Ripple. And I use
Ooh.
both of them.
Those are fun.
And then at the very end, I'll show you what I did with a combination of all 3 dies of the Waves. And then something unique that I did with the Ripple. So thanks to Nicole. So I use these. So you will see that this is a negative space. So leftover from the medium sized die, this would be the inside cut. And then I just double matted it to go with the colors of the dog. And then this is the in-between piece of the dies. And I tried to leave a lot of them just connected just because, but then I've put them together again. So, and this blue is actually colored blue, just like this mat is colored blue. So I use my Copic. I have to stop and think. I used the Copic colors and then just created my frame because this is just set above, and then my mat, which is down below. Okay.
All right, Penny, when you're taking a breath, I'm going to tell everyone, someone asked the size of the crafty cuts, and that's 12 by 22-ish. Approximately.
Yep.
Yes. Okay.
Yep.
All
okay.
Right. So did you say you use the Copic to color the edge of your?
Yes. So this is
Oh.
like the in-between 2 dies. This is what's left over.
Okay.
And so I colored this and I colored the mat to match the blue of the collar. This one I just double matted on colors that would match.
But that's a great idea to
Okay, so I'm going to refer to this as the rectangle and this is the circle. But what I tried to do for you is show you A, how Copic and Olos play nice together, and B, how there are some colors that are almost the same, but in the different brands.
Okay.
So that's what the goal of these 2 cards are. So the dog is the OR 2.2. All right, so let's take a look at the Olos. I'm going to pause for a minute. An Olo marker is the new markers that we now carry in the store. And when you buy a marker, this is what you get. So you get a barrel of ink, and then you get the brush nib. The label is on the UPC, and it's on the lid. Then if you buy 2, so you have 2 of them, then we give you this connector to go in between them so that you can screw them together, which makes it easier to hold. Now, Olo has come out with a handle. So if you have an odd number and you want to buy a handle, I mean, some people just use them the half, but that's another option for you to use.
How much are those?
These are $3.99.
Okay. Have you tried the handle yet?
I have.
Yeah?
I have. Yeah. Kelly had one, so I was able to try it. Then you have to think about, since they come in single cartridges and a color, then you have to think, what I did was like, I stopped and thought about how I'm going to combine the markers.
Yeah.
I did not want to put another OR on the end because then it was like, which end am I working on? So what I did with the markers that we have is on one end, I have like the ORs or the O's. The other end, I have the BVs and the Bs.
Oh.
So I have the same number of colors, So I did that. If I had a different number, like in my W's, I have 4 of the W's, the warm grays.
Mhm.
So I have the 1, 3, 5, 7. Then on the flip side, I have the YGs, but of different varieties. So I have the 1.4, 1.6, and then the 2.1, 2.3, which is a different variety. I also have the O 4.6, and that's kind of a standalone that goes with the other O's, 4.1, 4.3, 4.6. So we have the O's and we have the ORs instead of the Copic calls them the earth tones. Okay.
Mhm.
This is Olo's 0. And then I've got a couple of the BGs, the blue greens, and then the RVs. So, and I thought about it a while so that it would make sense to me. So you just have to do what do you do you. I don't
What
think I
was
can
that,
say that
Penny?
again.
You do
You do you.
So whatever makes sense, maybe if there's colors you use a lot, you put those together, but
Yeah.
you're suggesting opposite colors. Maybe you could do a color wheel, the opposite on the color wheel or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Whatever works for you.
Well, and the nice thing is it's not set in stone. You can
Right.
always change
Yeah.
it because Olo's coming out with new markers all the time.
Okay.
So
And I
there's
can see
that.
what you're saying, because if you put 2 colors close to each other, I would use the wrong one probably. I would
Yeah.
accidentally use the
Right.
dark color when I wanted the light color, and I would be
Well,
like,
and
ah!
yeah, and I have done that. So this dog, this is the Olo dog, and this is the OR 2.2. And this dog is a Copic dog, and that is the YR20. So let me just grab those, the YR20. Okay, so that's the base of this one. And this is the base of this one. So one's a little more pink, but basically it's the base foundation. And then I just grabbed 3 other Copics. So that's why the shading is basically the same. But I started with different things. I used what I had, and then I added to it with different Copics. So,
And then Penny, Patricia wants to know if they come in sets.
they do come in sets. And I'll just talk about that right now. So I grabbed my favorite sets from over there. If you don't want to blend, you just want to color, there is something called the basic set.
Oh, that's
And that you
nice.
get a nice, like royal blue, a dark blue, they call it indigo, a spearmint green, a marigold orange, a red grapefruit, bubblegum pink, the violet, and the daffodil. So if you just want to color, highly recommend these. And they come with the connectors.
Okay.
So everything that you need is in there. So you would basically have 4 complete markers.
And how much are those?
And these are $32.99.
Okay. So that's a good way to get started, maybe.
Yep.
How come
Yep.
I don't have them in rainbow order on the side? That's confusing to me.
Yeah. Now, if you
Don't they
want,
know it should
if
be
you
in
want a
rainbow order?
package, but you want more blendable opportunities, there are 4 sets that I prefer, and that is the botanical, the manga,
Manga.
1, the manga 2,
What is manga?
and the portrait. I have no idea.
Does
I have
anyone
no
know
idea.
what manga is? What the heck is that? That's funny.
But the botanical has
I know what botanical is.
botanical has 2 nice reds, 2 nice purples, and 2 nice yellow greens. You also get a dark green and a yellow in there. So that's a really nice set. Again, these are my just likes. The manga one, you have 2 blue violets, 2 orange reds, a red, and then 2 red violets. So if you do a lot of flowers, you might like this opportunity down here. And then you might want to combine that with a botanical with your yellow greens.
Penny, I feel old suddenly. Janet says manga is Japanese comic book style art.
Oh, yes, yes.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Janet, and Jackie also commented that comic books.
The
Yes.
manga 2 has a really nice combination of the O's, the oranges, and the reds. You actually get 3 reds down in here. The 2.2 and the 2.4 would be nice blendables, but then they give you a really dark 5.7. And then the last one is portrait, otherwise known as skin tones or earth tones. You have the OR 2.1 kind of by itself, but then you get the 4.1, 4.2, 4.4, 4.7, 4.8. You can do a lot with that set right there. You also get the OR 7.2 and the 7.4. So those would be my recommendations if you want a set of some blendable combinations, depending on what you do. I've tried to give you some options. $32.99.
Barbara says her daughter likes to draw manga. She must. You need to get those 2 sets for her, Barbara. Because,
Yep, absolutely.
And Janet knows that from shelving books at the library. So,
Yep.
I haven't been into that section of the library. Maybe I need
Well,
to.
I think it's expanding too.
Yeah.
The snout on this one is just the YR20. And then I used my new favorite, which is this Marvy opaque brush. I just really like the tip because you can get right down on the little freckles and just add a really nice soft little dot. And I did that in the eyes so you can see how small it is. And
Can you
it's
pull that up
smaller. It's smaller
closer to
than the Posca.
There you go. Oh, that's a good look. Can you show the tip of the pen that way too?
Oh, sure.
Just so we can see. Very nice.
So it's my new favorite. I would not recommend it for writing because it is a brush. All right. The grass over here, I started with an Olo BG21 and I did my YG67, and then I used my YG67 and my 17 over here, and then just 2 other colors for grass over here. I used the BG Olo color, 0.4 and 0.7. I just used 4.1 and 4.5 over here. The tag is on the same. The eyes and the nose are all the same. And we'll post pictures of all the numbers. You don't have to.
You do the best grasp, Penny. And
Thank
they
you.
both look really good with the Olo and the Copic. So
Thanks. Then with these, what I did was I took a terry cloth and then I used my colorless blender, my 0, and I put it on the cloth, and I wanted a big area, so I used a big cloth, kind of like this, but this is denim that I used in something else. And before I colored anything else, I had done the dog, and so then you just press it down and then lift it. I count to 3, 1, 2, 3, and lift it up, and then you get this texture in the dog. And so I wanted to make sure that I pointed out the
I
texture.
saw that when I was looking at the card. I wondered what you did. Wow,
Yeah.
that's cool. Great technique.
So anyway,
Penny, someone wants to know if they have an app. Olo has an app like Copics to keep track. Do you know?
I did not look. I don't know. But we do have color charts. So like this is all the 160 colors that we have right now. So you can see like here's a B0, 0.2, 0.3, and then 0.5. Well, I'm going to guess 0.4 comes out at some point because they've got it planned. There's a 2.2, 2.4 in the blues. I'm guessing 2.3 is going to come. So anyway, this is what they have. And so this is what we play with right now. And then we add to it.
Well, when I put Olo into the
Play Store or the
App Store, there's an Olo dating app that comes up. I don't think that we want that.
I
put
don't
in
think
Olo
we want
markers.
that.
What else? Olo Expo. I don't know what that is.
We'll have to
I
look.
don't know. Yeah, we'll get back to you on that. Maybe Penny can find it. I'm not very good with apps.
All right. So this is a cat and a dog. And the dog is ready to play, but looks like he's tired. And the cat's just looking at the ball like, what's that? I wish I could not find any of my snarky,
Snarky
little
captions. Yeah.
captions. And it was like, where are they? I lost him. Anyway, I used another one of the
Frames.
frames from that die.
Oh, from the
One
circle.
one is the ripple and the
The
waves.
ripple.
So I use this and I colored it again. And I use the same color that is in his collar. So the cat, I started with the Y21 in the Copic, but then I used the OR 2.2 to kind of give it some dimension in the little shadow areas. So this is showing you that Olos and Copics, they do play nice together.
Mm-hmm.
So you will find that even if you have Copics, you can add Olos because Olos, the colors are not exactly the same. And so that it's going to give you even more opportunities to expand your coloring and your variety of things. The dog is basically just Copic using the E3 series, 3135, 33, the nose 37, 39. Again, I use the Marvy white up in the eyes. And you know, they're so little. I love that Marvy pen.
Mm-hmm.
Don't forget your cast shadow underneath your critters, even the ball. So that's that one. Then what I did was that then all the Olos came into the store. So then it was like, oh, Kelly, what are we going to do? So I wanted to show you a comparison of paper, not just colors, but paper.
Sure.
So these are all Olo colored dogs. So we have the same dog. I have to figure out which way I need to go.
The other way.
It's like frozen. Okay.
You're behind a little bit.
Okay, there we go. Okay. So these are all colored the same way. These are all Olo colors. But they are all on different paper. So there's 4 different kinds of paper. 3 we have in the store. 1 I don't recommend. But as I said before, you do you.
Yes.
Different colors have different preferences. So I used in order from my left to right. So this postage stamp over here, Express It paper. And then the grass is the hammer mill like I use in Copics.
Mm-hmm.
Then the Nina with the fun frame and the oval. And this is what I'm going to call Olo paper. We don't have it in yet, but this is paper that Kelly got to use at the trade show. And I turned over her image and I used the back of it because I wanted to try it. So basically, they're all colored the same way. I found that Nina bleeds more with the markers because it
With
comes
the Olo markers?
with the Olo markers.
Okay.
It comes outside of the lines of the stamped image. And so I'm guessing it's a more porous paper, which I didn't think it was, but with the Olos, I did not like what this did. So it's still a cute card, and I'll still send it. This is that all numberama die that some of you may have. I just had it in my stash, so I thought it would be kind of fun to use. Just get a piece of paper that kind of matches the collar and call it a
what
day.
do you think would happen if you heat embossed it first? Do you think it would still?
Yeah, I do.
Soak through and go outside the lines. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I stamped them, and then the stamped image sat for a while
before you colored it.
I colored it. So And then I'm going to show you how I colored the dogs, just so that you know how to color the dogs with the Olos, if you care to do that. This one was with the hammer mill, clean, the blending is fine. This one was with the Express It, and I think I'm kind of liking the Express It. And so I might do some more Copic coloring on the Express It to see how it fares. And then this was the Olo, and I think I like the Olo paper as well. Okay. So the colors that I used for that is the WGs, the warm grays. And I started with the lightest, the 1. Then I went to the darkest, the 5, and then lighten it up with the 3. Inside the mouth, I did the 7. So inside here is the 7. The tongue, different ways of doing it was I used the RV 0.1. Sometimes you can use the 0 first to make it more pale. The nose, I used a set of 3. I went even darker with the WG7, and then I made a frame of 5, and then I lightened it all up with the 1. The collar can be any color that you want. Same thing with, I call this the tag, but I realize that is, in some of them I call them the collar, but that's also a tag hanging down. The shadow, you can do different ways of doing the shadow. This is just, again, with the warm grays, the 3 and the 1. I've looked at a lot of dogs, and a lot of dogs have brown eyes.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is just the postage stamped eyes. And we'll take a picture of this. There's just a few variances between, but that's basically what it is. So I wanted to color because I know you want to see Olos in action.
We have 2 questions for
Yep.
Penny. Can you show this? We do
Yep.
have the empty chart. So Penny showed the one that's colored in, which is the goal, I guess, is
Yep.
to get all the colors. But we do have the empty charts. And how much are those?
The empty charts are 99 cents.
Okay.
That way you can also keep track of what you have.
Yes. And then someone, let's see, Patricia wanted to know about watercolor paper. Have you used that with the Olos?
No,
Okay.
I have not. I didn't think of
that's
it.
something to try, Patricia.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm going to grab the warm grays.
Sometimes you have to use what you have, but what was the one that you liked the best, Penny? The hammer mill?
The Express It, I think, is my.
Express It. Okay.
I really liked Express It, and I liked the Olo paper, so I'm anxious to get more
Okay.
of that in.
Oh, okay.
And the hammer mill was fine too. I just did not prefer the Nina.
Okay.
So what I did was that
It gives you an opportunity to get your paper out and try coloring some images. See
absolutely,
what paper you like.
absolutely. Okay, so my warm gray number 1, what I found for me to be happy is that I like to do small areas, partly because it's new marker. So
Move this closer. Is that going to bother you?
nope.
There. I like
So
that better.
I did like a leg, and then I went to my 5 and my 3. So I'm going to grab those in my hand, but I'm basically going to do my 5. And I'm going to jump down here and do the shadows and give that leg some definition. Then I'm immediately going to go up to the 3 and soften the line. Pulling it out and just kind of flicking in.
So you're kind of using the same techniques as the Copics.
I do. I use the same techniques. Some people don't. The WG1, I'm going to go over it all again to soften up that line and make them play nice together. And so I'm just going to do that. And so then usually I have this out. I just think, okay, so then let's do this leg and this leg. And the darkest one.
Penny,
down the leg.
Cheryl wants to know how you're going to store your Olos. Any thoughts on that yet?
No. How's that
Good
for an
answer.
answer?
Well, I wondered because, they're new and
Right now they
maybe-
sit on my table.
I wonder if they're going to have holders that
There-
they sell.
There is
I would
something
assume.
and we're looking at it. It's like a circular spindle. So the markers, I don't even remember now I don't know.
More
Anyway.
to come on that, Cheryl. That's a very good question.
Because that is I don't know. So many times, like on my Copics, the same numbers on both sides. So it doesn't matter
Right.
which way it goes into the
Right.
box. Yeah. So
We'll get
It's-
back to you on that.
Yep.
When Penny figures it out.
Yeah. Well, and I'm hoping Kelly will see some more things at trade show, and so
Yeah.
again the medium.
Yeah, maybe Kelly will get something when she's in Vegas. Okay, I've been wanting to say it all morning, and Janet just did. We love your polka dotted nails. Was that for Disney?
It was for Disney.
I love it.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it the other day when you were here, but today I'm like, ooh.
And it's so funny because it really makes me happy. I didn't know something as simple
it's a
as
glimmer.
polka
It's
dots.
a total glimmer, Penny.
And so it's like when I go get them redone, it's like, what am I going to do next? I almost like gotta stay status quo. I'm going to go ahead and do the tail as well. I'm just putting ink down for the other colors to kind of go with it. Grab my 5.
The
Do the highlights.
charts that we showed were for the Olo markers,
Yes.
but we do have a Copic
We had.
chart.
I think we're out of the print version, but we can print
We can
more.
print it. Yes,
Yeah.
we have one for the Copic too that we can print.
And I know they have an app.
Yeah, they also have an app that you can put on your phone.
Keep track of what you have.
Probably need to tell the Olo people that they need to get on that, or maybe it's just my technology skills that are lacking. That
Yeah, I don't know that they have one, but we'll get back to you on that. So that's the 3, and then the 1 all over again. Just kind of soften the lines. The nice thing about dogs is that, their fur, depending on, like Elliot came in last night, he got caught in a rain shower. He was wet. Oh my gosh. So his fur, if it's wet, it looks different. And
I know it's funny how you try and wait. At least with my dog, he doesn't want to go out in the rain.
no.
So you wait until it's not raining, and then you're like, okay, come on, let's go now, go.
Yeah. And I don't know. I think I probably used this dog because it looks most like my own dog.
He's cute.
I just kind of emphasize the already shadows that the artist has given us.
Janet looked it up online. Thank you, Janet. And it says there are no Olo marker app yet. So
Thanks, Janet.
that wasn't just me.
I'm going to do just the W3 down in the shadow and on the tips.
She says, don't go to the Olo dating app.
Well, somebody might need to or want to. I don't know.
We are not sponsoring that or recommending it.
All right, in his face, same thing. I got the W1 or WG1 around his face, around his eyes. And then the WG5, we're going to emphasize the shadow Little details. We're going to do just a little bit between the nose and above the eyes, around on the corners. And then we're going to grab the W3, WG3. See, I got to retrain my brain. Okay, we're going to bring that nose part down and under the eye. We're going to pull this up and this over, this up, this around. Then we're going to hit it with the WG1. I really had fun with the WGs. And I was glad I had all 4 colors.
Does make a nice dog.
It does make a nice dog. Then I'm going to grab the WG7 and I'm going to get right up on the very tip and I'm going to emphasize those freckles and try not to make it any bigger. And I'm going to go into the eye, let that dry. I'm going to do the bags underneath his eyes with the darkest color.
Are the Olo markers refillable, Penny?
That is a question that has a yes/no answer. It's not refillable, but you buy a cartridge. So what I've learned is that you buy a special pair of tweezers, and I forgot to bring mine, and you pull out the nib and you pull out the barrel, and I haven't done it yet because we don't have any. And then you replace the barrel,
Mm-hmm.
and then that's what the ink is in.
Okay.
And then you just put your nib back in. Now,
Okay.
nibs will need to be replaced, and we do
Mhm.
sell replacement nibs, and we also have the chisel nibs.
Oh.
These are all brush nib markers. We can order chisel nib markers because they make chisel nib. The difference is a chisel nib is a gray barrel and the brush nib is a black barrel. And I don't know if you can see that on the screen or not.
Not very well, but can you show us the?
So
Yeah.
this is the chisel.
Okay. Do you use that very often?
No, and most people don't use chisels
Yeah.
even on their Copics.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you can buy cartridges for them. You don't have to buy the whole marker. And the cartridges, of course, it would be cheaper than a whole other marker. And
Yeah.
the markers are only for $4.10, I believe. If not, they're on sale for $4.10.
It looks like
I'm
to
going to use
replace well the nibs. You can
WG1.
get a package for $6.29. The
and these are the chisel
chisel
nibs.
nib. Yeah, I couldn't
Or
think
we
of the
have the
word.
brush nibs also.
Yeah.
So that's what they look like. And they're real easy to do. And I'm happy to help you with that at any point.
And I'm sure we'll probably get some cartridge refills eventually. You think?
I would think so. Yeah.
Some of the popular.
Yep. The popular
colors that you use all the time, Penny.
Probably the zero.
Uh-huh.
And then some of the lighter colors. Yeah. We'll just have to wait and see what people use and what they need, and we'll go from there. All right, so then we're going to I'm going to show you how to do the nose. We're going to use the 7 and the 5 and the 1, the WGs. So the 7, we're going to use the artist rendition of this texture. Excuse me. down here, which is off kilter. Then we're going to use 5. And with the WG5, we're going to bring it all the way around the littlest part up at the top and soften the lines. And we're going to make an oval. Then we're going to go to the light, the WG1, and we're going to soften the whole thing. As soon as I put it in the middle, everything starts to change. And you get that natural highlight with your nose. My eyes have dried, so I'm going to use my fancy new Marvy pen and just tap it.
Does Olo have a blender brush, Penny?
Olo has the, what do they mean by I mean, you just color by blending. They have a 0.
They have a 0. Maybe that's what she means.
Okay.
The 0 is for
Like moving, like if you, like on the Nina paper, I could have used the 0 to push the color back into the image.
It's kind of like with the Copics and their
And you can
0.
add texture. Yes, you can add texture. You can, put it on your denim and make different textures. We're going to go back to that WG7 and do the inside of his mouth because it's that dark spot right there. We're going to grab the 0. The nice thing about the 0 is white, and so you don't have to look real hard
so
for it.
You know what that is.
Yep. We're going to add white to the tongue, that 0 color. And then we're going to grab the RV01. And we're just going to do a quick swish.
So why do you put down the 0 first?
Because I want it lighter than the RV01.
Okay.
I want it like a 0.01.
Okay.
So that's why I do that, because it makes it paler. I forgot this little bit of neckline. So I'm going to go to my WG5 because it's kind of in the shadow and just fill in that little spot. We're going to grab that vibrant blue-green, that 0.7 that I like. We're just going to color the collar. Oh, and I missed that other mouth. I do this. I think every time I colored a dog, I forgot this little line of his mouth. Back to the BG 0.7 for his collar. And we're going to go ahead and do his tag. Now, the only thing I didn't do was the eye. And I know, call me silly. I want alcohol on every part of my colored image. And so I'm going to put 0 in the whites of his eyes, even though I didn't color them. So that's how I colored the dog with
So
Olos.
cute.
Now, we're going to move the Olos aside because I'm not leaving my Copic people out in the cold. We're going to do the same dog with Copics, and you're going to see how close we can do this. And I'm going to do the same numbers. So this was warm gray 135, and then the inside the mouth was that 7. So I've pulled the same markers, the W1, 3, 5, and 7. And so you're going to see this one's going to be lighter than this one, but it's going to be the same number. So if I wanted it to be truer to this, I might need to use like a W246. But I just kind of wanted you to show you kind of the same thing. So
Penny, maybe you said, I don't remember, what kind of paper are you using?
I'm using the hammer mill paper.
Okay.
And I'm just going to go kind of quickly through this and do half the body. And then grab my 5. And won't forget that little bit. Just do those artist renditions of shadows there.
That is one thing I like about the Tim Holtz stamps is that he has those shadows already there. It
Yeah.
makes it easier for people like me who don't color a lot. Penny, you're going so fast. I've never seen you color this fast before.
I know. I know. I'm feeling a little bit more confident after I've
Yes.
colored a few of these
And
dogs.
yours is still going to look better than mine would. I like it. It's not on fast forward. Penny's just going faster, showing you the Copics.
And so this is the W1. Still my happy dogs. Not happy trees today, but just happy dogs. All right, let's finish the back leg here and his tail. We'll move up to the face.
You guys can't hear it probably, but when it's quiet here in the store, I can hear Penny's brush marks or brush strokes as your pen goes on the paper. It's kind of soothing.
It is. It is. And a lot of
Mhm.
times I'll turn off the music just so I have silence.
Mm-hmm. Just kind of relaxing.
That's the W5. We'll grab the W3.
Carla wants to know if the color sets come with connectors.
Yes,
And
they do.
And then you can buy extras. Do we have black and red for sale?
Yes.
Yes. So you can, if you buy two from us, you'll get a black connector, but you can buy red ones if you like, or additional black ones if you need extras, or the handles. But the color sets do come with them. Do they come with the black or the red?
Black, I believe.
Black.
All right, do a once over of the one. Kind of blend this all back together again. Add it up here in the tail. I'll move over to the ears and the face.
Heidi loves to watch you color, Penny, but she says when you color with the Olos, it's weird because you're coloring one color, but the top of the pen says another color.
Yes, and
That
boy,
is okay.
it's.
I had to read her comment twice before I'm like, oh, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I see that, Penny or Heidi now. I totally agree. It is different because the Copics, you see the color that she's using. Kind of, you can even see the color. But Janet said it earlier. We will post on the blog the cards with the Penny does a really good job of saying what colors she used on each card, and we will post that. And Carla says, beautiful coloring, Penny, it is.
Thanks. Nothing but the best for our viewers. Now we'll do this here. Then we'll grab the W3.
Donna said you're messing with her too. You were coloring gray, but the end of the pen was green.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Let me tell you. Sometimes I'd stop and it's like, wait a minute.
Uh-huh.
But like I said, when you get some, you just figure out what's going to work for you and your coloring.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice when they're like this, and I can pull those together. Then I know which ones I want. But that's what works for me. Around the eyes. All right, let's get that W1. blend it all out. Go over the eyelids just real quick. Grab the W7 and do the inside of the mouth. We'll do that nose again. Do the eyes. We'll do these eyes and then let them dry a little bit. Grab the 5 and make that oval. And then we'll grab the 1 and finish off the nose. We'll grab the 9, or the 7, sorry. The 7, and we'll add our little freckles. We'll grab the Marvy, and we'll add our little dots. And then we'll grab our, grab the RV 00 and the colorless blender for the tongue, so that white, that clear, that alcohol layer. And then
I did not know that technique. I learned something.
RV.
I learned several new things today, but that was the most impressive one, Penny. I like that.
I did not do any texture to the dogs. I'm just going to color his collar and his tag. I still have to do his eye, and I forgot that little part of his mouth again. Every time.
You're consistent, Penny.
Yep. His eye. All right, and then I'm just going to grab the W1 and just do a little shadow. Not a big one, but just a little one. And then grab the WG1 and do my little shadow over here. Okay. Now, same color numbers.
Mm-hmm.
This one, in my opinion, is a little bit browner. This one is a little bit grayer. But we did it the same way. And that's what I wanted to show you.
Well, Cheryl said the difference, the Olo looks like it has a little bit more brown tint, which is exactly what you said,
Yep.
Penny.
Yep.
And she wanted to know if it just looks that way or it's the camera. And
Nope.
that's what it looks like here in person.
That's what it looks like in
what
person.
you're seeing on camera is pretty accurate representation, I would say.
Which is pretty rare that a camera
Yeah.
can get what you want. Okay,
Yeah.
now we're going to move on. We did this technique with this oval with rub-on. Someone came in, I can't remember who it was, and then we cut out, but the rub-on was still around the outside. So I'm going to do it this way so that you can see, maybe see the dimension between there. Now you can see it. The feet are coming out of the hoop. And I had looked at Janet's sentiments, and I was on my computer, and so I just thought, this has got to be just a yappy birthday. So this was with browns.
Very cute.
And this was with Nina paper, and I did see more of the bleeding going through. So I'm convinced that, and this is with Olos still. So I use the O's, a little bit of the WGs. So there's the Yappy birthday.
Very cute.
All right. And then we have a fat cat and a scaredy cat. Oh, I forgot about this one. Oh, when I did my 4 of the Olo markers, this was the Copic one. So now you can see the Copic. Boy, that's pretty darn, that's pretty darn close. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit different, but I did want to include that in that set so that. All right, so now we have some cats. I haven't left the cats out again. So I drew this, or I colored this fat cat, and I used the C's in Copics. This is all Copics. The C, 1, 9, 5, and 3, and the 00. And I just shadowed it a little bit with the BV20. But then I borrowed these stamps from Diana, and she had the dies, so I went ahead and used the dies. And then the scaredy cat was the YR000, the 20, and then the E30, the YR23. But then I wanted to have some fun with that die, because I told you I used all of the pieces of the die. And so some of it is the negative image, because there's only 3 dies in the waves, but there's a cut edge on both sides. So you get the leftover here. So this BG72 is the actual frame. Then the negative space is the B97. Then the next die is the YG67. The next negative space is the YG63. The next frame piece is the YR15. And the last negative piece was the YR000.
Wow.
So to me, those cats are just saying, like, wait till mommy gets home. We've done something bad. So I just did an oops. I just thought that was just kind of fun.
And Janet linked the sentiments for the cards, the dog cards. So
Awesome.
thank you, Janet.
Then I wanted to do a couple more cats. So I pulled out an old, this was an old picket fence. I had 3 circles, and one of them had a fence on it, one of them had grass, and one was plain. But you can do it with circles of any sort. And so I used coloring paper, and then I colored the fence, and then I used another piece behind it, because this is the actual card. So these are the cutouts, just put right back in.
Oh.
So this one is exclamating, and the dog is just like, what's going on? And the cat is saying no. It's like, you're not welcome here, dude. So get lost.
And that's
So
from the mini set.
that's from the mini sets, but I just wanted to do some more cats, and these are with Copics. And so this was a number 9 slim card. So we do have the Photo Play number 9 slim cards. It's 3 5/8 by 8 5/8. So that's another fun size card to deal with. And I think, oh, and these came from the all. You've got, some of you have these, the Tiny Words color, and there's several that are blank, that you could write your own things in, but I just went through and found the 3 that I thought would work the best, and just had
Those
some
are
fun.
Cute.
Had some fun. I think that's it.
All right. I'm going to put you back on screen, Penny. I don't think we have any more questions. You guys had a lot of questions today. I told Penny there'd probably be lots of questions to keep me on my toes. So I think I think we got all your questions answered. And if you have other questions, you can always call.
Oh,
Penny's
yeah.
here today.
I'm here today. I'm here
You can
Thursday.
call the store. But I'm sure she'll be doing other videos with the Olo if you have other questions.
Absolutely.
And somebody
Absolutely.
did say when they're stressed, then they're going to play your coloring videos. 'Cause
Oh.
it is, I'm like, okay, I'll just sit here. Great demo today. Yes. So we're going to remind you that it is the dog days of summer. And we've got our Echo Park special going on.
Yes,
The
the ephemera and the frames and
Yep.
tags from Echo Park
for
Pets.
$1.99 each. So that is a total bargain. And Katie showed a really good layout idea with those. And
Peggy has, and
yes, Peggy did some layouts too. And she did some yesterday, which were a lot of fun. And then tomorrow, Katie is coming and she is going to be using the Bow Wow from Bella Boulevard.
Oh,
I like saying the
love
Bow
that.
Wow. And she is going to make a little 4x6
Flip book?
mini album.
Oh,
That is
nice.
really, it's one of the, the flip,
Yeah,
the
the flip.
snap flip books. I can't remember what color, but yes. So great job today, Penny.
Thank
I
you.
always enjoy watching you color as well. And hope you guys have a crafty day today. If it's raining where you are, it's a good excuse to stay inside
Stay in
and
and
craft.
color. Craft.
That's right. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow.